Good evening, friends, and welcome back to Live Reality Games, the place where we make our favorite games into our reality. Friends, I'm so stoked to be back. We are here to talk about Survivor 42, premiering in literally 24 hours, and we are here to give you a ton of unwanted opinions about all of these contestants that we have not met yet. This is our cast draft and assessment. And I'm so stoked we're just under the wire. I can't even believe we went live, actually. We were so close to not being live. That's the closest and tightest I've ever cut it. But we're here, and I have 5 amazing co-hosts tonight. We all have studied this in different ways. Some of us have read the bios. Some of us have watched the videos, various levels, and we're going to pick our faves. And the winner, maybe winners, of this cast draft going to win one of 2 very cool buffs, one of these white and black live reality games, or my personal favorite, when the season comes out, June's going to be right around the corner for Pride. We have these awesome rainbow live reality game buffs that you can wear to your next live game this summer. So let's get right into it. I'll talk about the rules of the draft in a little bit. Thank you for joining. There's 7 people already with us. Thank you. We are only here because of you guys that watch us. Your players, your participants, your fans, just like us. And I hope you're just as excited for this game as I am. Survivor 42, bring it. With us is the queen herself from Survivor Gabon, the queen of LRG reality charities. We have with us once again the Jillian.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm the queen, but let's go with that. Sandra won't be happy. She won't be happy, so thank you.
She's the queen that stays queen, but anybody who removes a tick from my body at a Survivor game is a queen to me.
All right, now please explain. It was on your leg.
Yeah, thank goodness. But yes, so I got out from the bush, and I arrived to get some food because we get to eat. And there was a tick on me, and I screamed like I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, so it was a pleasure. Glad I could help.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Thank you for being a nurse. Thank you thank you for your service. Jillian, how is everything coming for Reality Rally?
Oh, we're super excited, and after a 2-year delay due to COVID, we're coming back for our 10th anniversary. It should have been our 12th, but this will be our 10th. And, the entire thing is a lot of fun over 3 days, raising money for Michelle's Place. It's a cancer resource center. And for anybody that's interested, watch my Facebook and Reality Rally Facebook, and you'll see interviews with people of why they join us. And it's 3 days of crazy fun. We have a party at a winery. We have a lip sync showdown. We have an amazing race all over Old Town Temecula. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of people that are involved. And that's the entire reason why it works. Not one of us is getting a dime out of all the work that we put in, but we feel it because we know it's making a difference. So yes, thank you. So realityrally.com. I'll give a quick promo. It's May 5, 6, and 7, realityrally.com for Michelle's Place Cancer Resource Center.
Absolutely check it out, my friends. If you have ever wanted to meet some reality stars, you're going to see contestants and participants from a lot of different shows. Like, what are some of the shows that are going to be at Reality Rally this year?
Well, they're still gathering because the reality stars sign up, and then they are actually required, and I'll just use that word, to raise some money for Michelle's Place, because it's not just a huge, big, fun, awesome, amazing party. It's a fundraiser. And then they come, and then we cover a lot of their costs while they're here. We don't cover their flight, but the rest are covered. But it's Survivor, Amazing Race. I don't have anybody from Big Brother yet again this year. And each year it's different. And this year we're finding it's different because of the past 2 years. Naked and Afraid. Many of the chef shows, Hell's Kitchen, Chopped, variety of the different chef shows. So it's a variety. And again, they were on realityrally.com under Reality Stars, but they're still signing up. So keep watching. It's pretty cool.
I've always wanted to see a live reality game try to do like a chef, like a cooking show. I think it'd be so fun. I'd love to watch it.
Yep.
Well, that's super exciting. Definitely go check it out. realityrally.com. With us as well, some may say the top strategic threat from the Greenhouse Season 2. And as well, married to Claire from Season 1. With us is Brody. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, part of my first live stream of any kind of draft with y'all. So I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely pumped to have you. With us as well, somebody I've known for a while, but you will know them from Season 3 of Mayhem and The Takeover, Birthday Bash, Aunt Jackie's Productions, and I gotta say, iSurvivor. Rocky.
What's going on? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. And I had to call out iSurvivor because I was watching these contestant interviews and they actually, in some of them, talked about the orgs that they played. And I was shocked that they were mentioning some of this stuff that we do, which is super cool. So yeah, if you don't know about iSurvivor, it's super cool group on Facebook. Check it out. You would have a great time. With us as well, rounding out some of these live reality game legends, we have the host and creator of Survive, happening this Labor Day. Also a contestant, if you remember from Real Foot, I cannot tell you which season. Nikki, welcome.
Hello. I'm excited. It was Real Foot the last season they just had. I think it was 8.
Yeah.
What a bad contestant I am. But you have a month to apply to Survive, so you still get those applications in.
Yes. Right on. So there's still a month to apply if you want to play a game. So Nikki, tell me a little bit about how hardcore is your Survivor game. Is it easy? Is it really difficult in the elements?
So it's 5 days in the elements, living outside. You will not get a porta potty or a bathroom. You will get a hole that is pre-dug. So you know what? That's luxury. So as far as the elements, you're out in it. As far as the challenges, we have an amazing production team full of contractors and escape room owners. So it's exciting. I'm excited, and you should be too. But yeah, it's our first season, so you really have a chance to shine and have your moment be told.
Oh, so cool. So I love playing a first season because you really start at the ground level of a group. So where does this take place again?
It is in McHenry, Illinois, which is just a suburb of Chicago, northern Illinois, almost Wisconsin.
Oh, we're super close.
Yeah.
I'm in Michigan. I'm like right here, and Chicago's like.
Well, I love Michigan map. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
We're right across the river.
Yeah, exactly.
Lake Michigan.
Throw a rock over the pond. Why not? Super cool. Oh my gosh. In the summers, I like to sneak out to events if I can get to them. So that's close to me. Yeah. I might just pop out of the bushes.
You should. Yeah. Scare the contestants.
With my phone, right, Jillian? I'll be recording you.
So be careful of ticks then if you're going to be jumping out of the bushes. You better make sure you've got tick removal stuff.
I found there's a little clip you can put in your wallet that you can helps get them out. Lessons. All right, and with us as well from Surviving Maine, and one of my favorite drinking buddies last season as we talked about the Survivor finale. Also on production of Can You Survive? Welcome back, Cameron.
Hey, Kirk. Thanks for having me again. Excited to talk about this new season. I'm excited that Survivor's back. And Nikki, your game sounds really cool aside from the whole hole situation, but otherwise that sounds awesome.
Oh, wait. Shout out to Nikki as well. Nikki, you also played iSurvivor.
I did, yeah.
Yes, iSurvivor.
Here's another one.
Oh, my gosh. That's... Shout out to Sandy. We love you. So, okay, we're going to get right into this. We have this amazing slideshow prepared to us by Dustin. We're going to go through each of the contestants. I'm only going to spend a little bit of time on each one. What Dustin has done is has has their picture and their bio from CBS's website, and it's turned that into an infographic. The way the points are we are gonna do points. So this last season was just the first winner takes all. I've kind of learned, I've watched a few drafts. So this one, the point system is going to work like this. You have a total of 3 contestants that will end up picking, and that contestant earns the amount of points of episodes they are in. So in other words, if 5 people get to the last episode, they'll each earn that many points. That would be that episode. So we won't really know until the end. And the winner, I forgot if I did this live. I did do this live. We'll get one of these buffs. You can choose your color. Made by Kingsway Crafting in Wisconsin, another loyal supporter of lots of live games. I know they are creating buffs for Surviving Maine this summer. So if you'd like to get some buffs handmade, hit me up or hit anybody up at Kingsway Crafting to get a great deal. So, oh gosh, Jillian, it's Survivor 42. I'm so excited. We're going to get right to the first contestant. This is going to be the Vati tribe, the red tribe, and we have Chanel. Forgive me in advance if I pronounce anybody's names wrong. I watched the interviews, but I might mess it up. Chanel, 29 years old. She has drive. She's professional, strong work ethic, executive, recruiter. I love that we can see their favorite survivors in here. She's a fan of Kim Spradlin. Next up on the Vati tribe, we have Daniel. He really stood out to me in a bunch of the interviews. A lot of the words, Yule sticks out, and also Fabio. Interesting. Legos, no regrets. Humbled, meticulous, goofy. Next up on Vati, we have, is it Hi or Hey?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I believe so anyway. That's what I heard.
Logical, Vietnam, lonely, data scientist, independent, New Orleans, poverty, I see, another 29-year-old, well-rounded, astute. Next up on the tribe, we have Jenny. I remember this was really interesting. She talked about welding a lot. High EQ, travel, direct, movies, Pilates. We also have, I love it. Lydia, 22, waitress, actress, bartender. She has Debbie Warner. I would not have expected somebody to type that in their bio, but also Suri, which is so different. And rounded out with Mike. He's the father sports, 58-year-old, carrying sensitive Boston Rob wannabe. He says he's a beast. We are going to head over to our Ica tribe with, is this Drea or Drea?
Drea, I think.
It's Drea,
Drea.
yeah.
Yeah, that was, so perspective, risk taker, entrepreneur. She admires Kelly Wentworth. She's 35. Okay. I really connected a lot with a lot of her interviews. Roxroy, Las Vegas, 44, stay-at-home dad. I'm fascinated with these pictures Dustin created.
Clever.
Romeo, pageant coach, survivalist, 37-year-old. I remember him saying he looked up to Sandra. Impatient, underestimated. Swatty, Harvard student, only 19 years old, is into theater from Palo Alto, California. Tori, who is well known in our community by a lot of people, a therapist, only 25. She seems like she's lived a lot more in 25 years. Looks up to Kim Spradlin, super strategic. I'm sure we're going to have a lot to say with whoever picks her. And following, last up on the Ika tribe will be Zach from St. Louis, Missouri, 22-year-old wide-eyed wonder. The debatist, and we'll debate whether that's a good quality or not. And moving on to our Taku tribe, we have Jackson, 48, healthcare worker, fly on the wall. Lots of words stick out here. Clearly tattoos. Let's see, where are we? So a couple of these links are hard to click. We have Jonathan, 29-year-old surfer, chaos, friendly, endurance. Our next Aussie. Next up after Jonathan, we have Lindsay, 31-year-old, loud, a boss, says loud a lot on it, talkative, outgoing, intense, outwit. I just watched an interview where she said she watched all of the seasons of Survivor in just like a handful of weeks, which I thought is pretty incredible. Moving on. Marianne, she's one of our contestants from Canada. 24, energetic, empathic, from Ajax, Ontario. Is this Maria or Maria? Did anybody
Maria?
catch that?
I think it's Maria.
I already have a hot take about her. The first time I saw her, I completely got Stephanie LaGrossa vibes in her face. Has anybody else thought this at all? If not, do a close-up really quick and do a side-by-side. It's the craziest thing. So maybe it's the eyebrows, but she's a teacher, savvy, guarding, 47 years old. And we have...
I thought we did him already. Oh,
yeah, there's one slide that didn't click right there. It is. There's Omar, 31-year-old, observant, silly, shameless veterinarian. Looks up to Suri Fields and Tyson Apostle. All right, so let's head on over. I can't wait to hear some of these opinions. Okay, cool. In case anybody's wondering why this is so hiccupy, it's because I'm not Dustin, and this is my first time doing this with all of this tech. Okay, so the way this draft is going to work, it's in the private chat. We did a random.org order. Cameron will be first, then Nikki, then Rocky, then Jillian, then Brody, then me, and then we'll go backwards through that order. So what's going to happen is, Cameron, you'll get to pick first, and then we can all kind of comment on your choice and give our true feelings about how, if we wanted that person or not. All right. So Cameron, take it away.
Geez, I feel like the number one pick is always a little cursed. So I'm feeling a little nervous. I have 3 people who I feel like I'm torn between as my like quote unquote winner pick. And they all happen to be on the same tribe too, which doesn't make it any easier. I just feel like these people have the like emotional intelligence, the maturity that are gonna take them the whole way. I'm gonna go with Chanel for my first pick, because I feel like these people didn't see season 41. They still want that female winner. It might be, I just think that's another thing that this cast is going to be probably pushing for. So I wanted to go with a female choice here at the beginning. And Chanel, I just think, has like the head on her shoulders. I feel like she was talking about being like an executive recruiter and being able to like sell people, which is a good like alliance thing and talking thing. So she stuck out to me.
How do y'all feel about that?
I'm mad.
I'm so mad, bro. That was like my number
I
one.
wanted her.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right. You guys
yes.
made me feel better about it then.
Yeah, she was one of mine as well. So I think you've sealed your fate there, picking everybody's choice.
Yeah, Cameron, she was top probably 3 for me as well. And I think I'm kind of in the same boat as you of I think there are a few people who could definitely take this thing all the way, and she's up there. But I think she probably has the safest route to make it far. I think with the added point system of however many weeks you make it and however many episodes, that kind of helps. I think she is one of the safer ones out of the group that at least I was thinking of as winner picks. So I think all in all, that's a great pick to start it off.
Okay.
Man, if it goes like this, I am not getting anybody that I wanted. Chanel was my literal number 1 pick. I am so
Great minds
sad.
think alike, Kirk.
Same.
Man, that so sucks. But probably going to be great for her in the game. Let's head on back over. I think Chanel was the one that talked about Pro Survivor.
Yes.
And
she name dropped some online communities as well, which I thought was interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Survivor Pandora, she mentioned. Let's do a shout out to Justin.
She did all the required reading. She studied up for this. So I hope she didn't study too much. Sometimes you can do that.
That's so true. Let's hope she didn't study too much. Nikki, you are up next. Who is your first pick?
Oh gosh, this is so tough because after Chanel, I had a few that were kind of, I felt equally about all of them. And I am going to go with my first gut when I saw her video. And I think this is the season for the ladies. I mean, there's a lot of fantastic picks and mostly women in my book. But Drea, I am going with Drea. She stood out to me in her interview and I was really impressed. So I think she's very likable and I think she can get some alliances and make it far.
She's definitely not going home early. She's so
Yeah.
she looks so strong. She's going to be so good in those
Yeah,
challenges.
so strong.
for that
Look at that
tribe.
smile
So, yeah.
too. You know, she's just, I feel like she's going to be a great positive energy and they're going to want to keep her around.
She's a fitness coach, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
she's pretty fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you need.
As long as people don't, because with being a fitness coach, I feel as though that she'll be good when it gets to like the individual portion. So if she can keep her threat level down until she gets there, I think she'll be good.
Right.
Yeah, I know she mentioned Kelly Wentworth previously, and I think if she plays a similar game and kind of takes that role of, hey, I'm going to be a team player and then really start to dominate once it gets to the individual game, I think she's up there for one of the people that can contend. It's just all a matter of how much can she lower that threat level.
Yeah.
Usually I don't like it when a player's deceptive about their profession because I think it comes across to people as you're not telling the full truth. But she said in one of her interviews that while she owns a fitness consulting business, she's going to come across as just one of the employees. And I think that's actually one of the best uses of that strategy, where you might just change exactly what you do so you don't come across as maybe as much of a leader and maybe more of a follower. And to me, that's why, ironically, she was my second pick. I had a lot of reasons, like what you said earlier, but this draft is going to go miserably for me at this rate. So, like, what is happening? Next up, Rocky.
Okay, so I'm taking a big gamble. And it's not in a bad way, it's in a really good way. But I want Tori.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Boy, I'm crossing off my list here as you're speaking, all of you. I'm crossing.
You know, like Dustin, I'm not Dustin. Like Kurt said, Tori's pretty known in the Oregon LNG community. Tori did amazing in Sequester. And for that reason, that's why I picked Tori, because I think that she was very young in that. And she's grown, and I think she knows the game well enough and knows how to manage her threat level. I don't want to compare her to be like probably being a poverty, but I can see people putting her in a poverty perspective, but she will know how to control it. So I'm rooting for Tori, like seriously hard.
Oh, yep. I've crossed her off my list. Thank you.
I'm just scared that Tori might be too likable and she might come
Yeah.
off knowing the game too well. But hopefully she can dumb that down.
I think, well, she's in a good spot on her tribe with a couple other super fans or like young, energetic people that are going to want to like chat about that. So I feel like she won't seem out of place as
Right.
that, like, you know, gamer early on.
And hopefully people don't know too much about the community
Yeah.
and know who she is.
Absolutely. I was a little worried that she compared to some of the other players, she does come across as super knowledgeable in her interviews. Like when she was talking, she just went into strategy mode so much, and like in some of her initial games and experiences, I find her a little bit more personable. So I hope that she can still like maintain that like realness of Tori as she plays the real Survivor 42 and comes across authentically and not too much of that super gamer.
Well, we'll see tomorrow night.
We'll find out. Jillian, you're next.
Well, you know, I've wrote a lot of names down, three of which have gone already. Thank you very much for stealing my players.
You're welcome.
But, you know, on my season of Survivor, I was tossing up two people that I was going to pick because I knew it was going to be a schoolyard pick. I just knew it's Africa and I was old. So I was either going to pick the cool dude who was Marcus, or I was going to pick Crystal, who was an Olympic gold medal runner. And I knew that going into the game. And I decided I really wanted the cool dude. But I picked Crystal because I needed somebody who could run much more than I could, and somebody with spirit and running and everything that went with that. So I picked Crystal. So you know what happened with that. Anyway, so this time I'm going to go with the cool dude. So I know it's probably a nail in my coffin, but I'm going to take Jonathan and see what happens because I'm picking the cool dude this time. So he's mine. There he is. Cool dude.
Oh, there's the cool dude. Jillian, I'm glad you picked the cool dude. That's definitely was not going to be on my list. You know, but Aussies sometimes get to the last episode, so point wise, you might be fine.
Yeah, he doesn't have to win. He just has to
No.
get there.
You just got to give me points, so thank you.
And I think it's going to be tough for him not to make it a few rounds in, given the physical nature of the challenges and helping out his tribe. It's going to be tough to take somebody like that out so early that you're going to get nothing. The only thing about Jonathan that drove me nuts is in his bio, he said one of his biggest pet peeves was wearing shirts. And I just cannot get behind that being a pet peeve of anybody's. I think you need to have a shirt on unless you are on the beach. Otherwise, let's keep the clothes on, okay?
Well, you can see why he wants to not wear a shirt. I mean, it's obvious.
Fair. If I looked like that, it'd be a little bit different story. But
yeah, I wasn't sure if he meant that nobody should wear shirts, or anyway, guys or whatever, or just he didn't like shirts. I couldn't quite catch that.
He'll be interesting.
Yep.
It's kind of like Sydney. Sydney was talking about in some of her interviews from Survivor 41 that when they would have walks during their quarantine, whatever it's called, their sequester, and they'd walk around in circles, and she'd wear like a big two-piece bikini, and everybody else would dress modestly, and she'd be like, "Why are they all staring at me?" Because she had so much confidence, but I don't know, bravado doesn't always pay off. Awesome. I get 2 picks. I'm actually really stoked for this because one of my top 3 is still in. So
Kirk, don't skip me.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Brody.
You should have let Kirk stay his pick, and then you could have taken it.
I feel too bad then.
Oh no! This is true. This is Brody's pick.
I really hope
you might crush
take
me.
Somebody. I have to. Looking at this cast, I think that Vati tribe is super, super strong, in my opinion. I can say this because I probably won't get most of them to come back to me after this anyway, other than in 2 picks from now. But I have to go with my New Orleans, Louisiana crew, I'm going with high. I think he's too likable. There's a good chance he gets really far, and I think he has the strategy. I think he has the persuasive skills to really win it if he puts his mind to it, and the other people hop on board early.
Totally agree.
Yes.
He was who I was choosing between at the beginning, so I think that's a steal. I mean, I loved hearing him talk about how he compares his game to Aubrey. I think that's such a good kind of match for him. He seems to be like very like high emotional intelligence, that type of player. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see him play.
Definitely was on my list. So.
Yeah.
I was shocked that he got to me. I'm ecstatic here at second to last pick, still getting my number one personally. So, Kirk, I hope I didn't steal at least one of your guys.
He was mid-tier on my list, so like it's one of those that I probably was going to get in my last pick potentially. So I'm a little disappointed, but who knows what you get for your last pick anyways, ever. So I'm so excited. I get to go with my first pick. It might be a little controversial. I think I still need to add your letter to that one. I'll do that in a second. So my first pick is going to go with who I thought. So it's interesting. I think, Cameron, you said your top three were in the same tribe.
Yep.
Okay. So my top three were all on different tribes, which I thought, great, they're never going to get to work together because the twists, there's not going to be a swap. Like, no surprise there. So I am going to go with somebody who I think is bubbly, will bring light to people. When you are hungry and depressed and upset, will bring joy to your life out on an island where you could be miserable. And I truly think that is Marianne. So she is going to be my number one pick. That girl's smile is $1 million right there.
Why did you say controversial? You said this is going to be controversial. Why? Why do you think that?
I don't know. You know what? That's a great statement. I don't know. Did you want to pick Marianne?
Yep. She was on my list too.
She was on your list.
Yeah.
Okay. Not controversial. We're feeling this. We're feeling. Sometimes I feel like super positive people don't actually go far in Survivor.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I do think she is so positive, and you're like, I also think she seems too innocent, and I'm not sure that'll translate well. But she's lovely as heck, but and I'm rooting for her, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I felt similarly. I feel like the age and innocence is maybe something that might hold her back from winning. But again, I feel like the interesting part of the way you structure this, Kirk, you don't really need someone to win. I do think that she is such a likable person that she could be there at the end, maybe not in a threat to win the game, but just to be there at the end for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about happy is, you said it's a good thing to be happy and to cheer people up when you're tired and depressed and hungry and whatever. But sometimes that isn't the case. It might be like, oh dear God, I wish she'd shut up or something. So you never know. And for me, I mean, I was the one that was trying to be happy and keep positive and keep everybody geared up, and I obviously pissed everybody off. So because they said, and in fact, Crystal said, "Got to get rid of her. She's too effing happy." So when you said happy stuff, I was thinking, oh wait, don't go there.
Well, okay, so Marianne, Jillian, and Kirk need to be on a tribe together someday. The happy tribe.
The happy tribe. There you
all
go.
Smiles. We'll go look for elephant dung together. It'll be a great time.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, so I have Marianne, and now that the list goes backwards, so I get to pick one more time. And since my other two tops were picked, I am going to pick somebody. I really don't know, and my next pick's going to be pretty rough. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. The person's name that I probably am pronouncing incorrectly. I'm getting the Stephanie LaGrossa vibes. I'm going to go with Mara, or I think it's Maria.
I think so.
Is there an extra E in there, or just Mara? Or sorry, Maria.
Maria?
Well, I guess it would be Ia. Maria.
No.
It was
I think
almost
she said
sounded
it's
like
Maria.
Marianne without it. So
Maria.
maybe Mary or
Yeah.
Myra or something.
Maria?
I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, well, we'll know tomorrow.
We'll know tomorrow. I've literally watched her interview where she said her own name and it didn't
Yeah.
process or stay. So my apologies. I'm getting Stephanie LaGrossa vibes. One of the reasons I'm picking her is because she comes across, she even said it in one of her interviews, she's a mother. She's going to come out mothering. And sometimes we don't see that player win, but sometimes we do see them help other people and themselves get to the end. So we've seen
Right.
this kind of archetype roll through Survivor. So and she's from Lansing, Michigan, which if we go back to the map, everyone is right here.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm worried about someone who wants to go out there and mother, but I think she might be on the oldest tribe. Like she doesn't have any of the 19 or 20 or 22-year-olds on her tribe. So like there isn't that person that maybe that is going to be super receptive to that, but we'll see how she handles that.
Maybe Marianne.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe Jonathan. Maybe he needs a mommy.
You need someone.
Yeah. Well, on the last season, when I saw Heather was going to be on it, I thought, oh, that poor woman. She's going to get booted. They're always after the old woman first. Well, look where she went. I mean, she was like the mother and very interestingly went so far. I mean, that was a surprise to me. Maybe not to everybody, but she did.
It was a surprise to me, and then it was a surprise how their alliance like literally imploded the second it merged.
Yep.
It's like, what happened here? Okay, so we get to go backwards now. So I'm not forgetting you this time. Brody, you are up. Let's go back to, this is the updated draft map.
So I'm hesitant to do this because we're going back to my favorite Vati tribe. But this player is so risk reward where I think he has the full strategic mind to pull it off. And I know from where I'm coming from, strategy is king in my brain, and it's not in real life always the case. But I have to pick Daniel. I think his online bio was too strong. He identified his threat level game, knowing he's going to come across as the nerdy, quirky guy, and how much that's seen as a threat. And I think he addressed wanting to tone that down and really play an under the radar, build relationships, and then kind of let himself flourish in the second half of the game, which I really think is what he needs to do if he wants to be anything but the first boot.
Yeah, I think that's a well said, because I could see him being the first boot. I mean, someone who wants to come in being so like schemy and like has all these plans and has spent, I think he said he wrote like some sort of Survivor like rule book over
Right.
the pandemic. I think it's like he has it all built up. If he can get past that initial like worry stage, maybe, but I could see him getting on people's nerves the first couple days too.
Well, yeah, as long as he doesn't shout it all out. If he sort of keeps it undercover and stuff for a while, then I think that could work. But you're right. It's no use going in with barrels blasting about how much he knows and wants to do and what he's going to do and stuff. That's always a death knell. So
I thought he was pretty likable. I loved in the, I think it was Entertainment Weekly interview with him, and he's like, I'm not going to win. He's like, unless they're all stupid, I'm not going to win. They're not going to let me get to the end. I just thought that was so funny. So he's going to be fun, and I hope he does not get first boot.
Yeah, Daniel does give like very fun energy. It can go one or two ways. They'll either not take him too seriously, or they'll see right through like, oh, he's just being like the funny guy just to, to keep a target off of him. But I didn't get first boot vibes from him. I think that because usually the funny guys or like the quirky type of people, like they stay around just for a little bit and then people catch on to them.
I definitely think Daniel would be on the happy tribe with Marianne and Jillian and me. 100%. And he gives me Rick Devens vibes for some reason.
Yeah.
I can see that. See that.
So who knows if he's going to be, he comes across like he could be a prankster. He seems like that type of dude that could kind of have that fun side to him, that if the right people are on his tribe, maybe they'll vibe with him. I don't know if a tribe of 6, if that's going to be the vibe, but I don't think he's going to be a first boot either, but we shall see. We never know.
Actually, that is the thing. It depends on who you're with, how you are going to come across. I think me being happy on the other tribe in my season would have been so much different. So it just depends on who you end up with, whether you click or not. So yeah, let's hope the rest of his tribe likes a happy person.
Yeah,
or a funny person.
I think they will.
Next up is Jillian.
All righty. So I am going to go with Mike.
All right.
Took
That
you
was
while
a
to think
quick.
about that one. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I'm looking at my list that I prepared, so I crossed off half of them when you guys picked them. And actually, the cool dude wasn't even on my list to begin with, but then I remembered that I really wanted a cool dude, so I added him. Yeah, so Mike was my second pick anyway. Marianne was my first one. So yeah, Mike, I just liked who he was and what he's done, and who he is. I thought that was pretty cool. And also, I'm rooting for an older guy too. So there we go. And he looked like he's got what it takes.
He
Anybody?
surprised me with his openness. He said he needed to hide his emotional side out there, that he has a really big emotional side. I guess that that surprised me, just coming from his stereotypical build. So I'm curious how that changes how he approaches things as a character.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he should hide it, because otherwise people are going to look at him and say, oh, it's Tony,
Right, yeah, or
Yeah.
the big guy. I think showing that emotional side could be the way that he gets
Yeah.
in and deeper. Yeah.
Especially because loud is a word that's all over this thing.
Mhm.
And loud people on Survivor, it is not a friend. So,
Right.
yeah.
And Nikki, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Is if you're going to be loud, you have to bring some other qualities to it, because
Yeah.
loud alone will not get you very far.
He said it like 5 times in this thing.
He was very adamant about it in his bio for sure. And so I think if I don't know, I have mixed feelings about our guy Mike here.
Well, he may be first off then, and I'll be thinking, oh, shoot. There go my points.
What does he mean by loud?
Yeah, I
I
was
was,
wondering too.
I was just about to say that, Kirk. I
like
don't know,
like physically loud, or like personality, or does he? Well,
Does he-
his
does he
bathing
shout?
suit isn't loud, so
does he not know how to whisper?
yeah. Is he one of those
No camp
close
secrets.
talkers?
Yeah, does he spill the secrets? I mean, but I also see, and he said it, that he's a dad, he's a father, so he may give a fatherly vibe. People may, and it mixed with the sensitivity, people may just really trust him.
In my family, there's a lot of men that have that, like he says, gruff exterior, but a very soft inside. So I actually relate to that type of person. So if he's authentic to his feelings, I would probably trust that person, coming from my life experience. So
Mhm.
I hope he's just authentic, but if he's too loud, I don't know if there's anything to save that. You gotta whisper.
Well, I think one of the other reasons why I picked him is because he was a firefighter. So, he can do well under stress, perhaps,
Yeah,
and assess situations, because as a firefighter, you've certainly got to know what you're getting into and not panic, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe that's part of the reason why I picked him.
He's probably going to really help his tribe in the challenges, I'm assuming, too.
I'm sure gonna be a big
Mhm.
asset.
Yeah. So next up, going backwards, we are back to Rocky. Here is the updated draft.
So my pick might be a little controversial, especially because the person that she said that she likes, I'm not necessarily a fan of. So I'm gonna pick Lydia.
Oh. Tell me more. What did she say?
She mentioned Debbie, and I'm not too much of a fan of Debbie. But she also mentioned Sari and Tom, and I'm a big fan of those. players, especially Sari. So I think Lydia just gave me, especially in her like interview. I'll be honest, I didn't watch everybody's interview. But Lydia was one that I watched, and I watched it over and over just because she has chaotic energy. And I just really love it. She seems very witty. Kristen Wiig is like her hero, and that just makes me so excited because I love Kristen Wiig. I just see like her just being a funny character, but she also seems very strategic. She knows the game. I think people are very going to underestimate her. I just hope that she doesn't have she doesn't do hothead, chaotic stuff like Debbie. Unless it like superly, like it's superly, unless it like benefits her in a good way. But I think she's going to be a very underestimated character, but I am also scared because on this group that she's with, I think she could also be first boot energy if they lose. But
Yeah.
I'm confident in the Vati tribe dominating.
She brings big Gen Z energy, I feel like, into the game, and so we'll see. I feel like her tribe, she's the only young 20s person on her tribe, but I think it's interesting. I also think it's interesting she's not telling them that she's an actress. She's another one lying about her job,
Right.
or lying. So I'm curious how that goes. A young waitress in LA, I feel like it's obvious that you're also an actress, but
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she doesn't have to say anything further. We know
Right.
what that means.
Yeah. I had her high up. I do think she does give a fun energy. And I like the way she communicates. So I do think that she will connect with other people.
Yeah,
Cameron,
she was up there. Go ahead, Kirk.
I was going to say, Cameron, I said the same thing when I watched her interviews, that she gave me Gen Z vibes, like through the roof. I also love her aversion to everything outdoors, but she's going to be living outdoors for 20 plus days.
That's right.
potentially.
Yeah, she was high up on my list personally. I really couldn't tell you why. There was nothing in her bio or anything that was screaming this person's gonna win Survivor 42. But I liked her personality. It came across. The one thing I just have some concerns with is her age, and will this group of people give money to a 22-year-old is just always such a hard
right.
thing to convince myself that someone, especially, and she looks fairly young as well. There's some of the people in the cast who are younger but don't look quite their age, and giving the money to someone like that is such a hard decision when you have a father who's a retired firefighter who's sitting next to you perhaps, and you're going to choose the firefighter or you're going to choose this 22-year-old waitress. So that's my one concern with her.
Did you see the interview where she talked about she had only camped at music festivals and that sand on your body is the worst thing ever? And they showed a close-up of sand on people's bodies right after that.
Well,
HD quality. I thought, oh man, I'm excited to watch her in the first 2-3 days, whatever the first cycle is, to see just what happens. She might have an Audrey moment her first time playing, where it's just the work. She is down in the dumps, she can't get out, or a Holly moment, right, where she needs to be kind of dragged out of it. But seeing that growth on Survivor is one of the things that makes the show so great as well. So we potentially could get that with Lydia.
Well, she's obviously channeling Sari, because Sari had many of the same things. She, didn't like the beach, and she didn't like bugs, and she'd never camped. She'd always lived on a couch, and all that sort of stuff. So, that may well be how she wanted to come across in interviews, and she may start out with that. And who knows if it's a benefit or not? Her tribe may think, oh gosh, she's going to be useless if she doesn't even like sand, because they really on the beach a lot, and they dig and bury themselves in sand, and their challenges are in sand, and so there's going to be lots of that. Enjoy it.
Lots of things.
Have fun, Lydia.
We can't wait to watch.
Yep.
So this is going to be fun. Next up, Nikki, you get your second pick. Here's the updated board.
Okay. This is getting tricky now. I almost don't feel like a winner is from here on out. I feel like we already picked the winner. But there's still a couple that kind of stood out. I am actually gonna go with Roxroy on this one. Now, I thought in his interview, I don't know if it was the Entertainment Weekly one that I watched or just his individual one that Survivor puts together. But I thought he was pretty likable. And it actually surprised me because just I don't know. Like he just has like stay-at-home dad. Like I like basketball. Like I play golf. Like it just seems so like standard, But I think he does have a lot more depth in there, and so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, he was one of my picks as well.
Yeah.
So thanks for stealing him.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked his vibe as well. I think it's
Mhm.
and it may be the stay-at-home dad. CBS is trying to get very inclusive of everything, and I'm not sure we've had a stay-at-home dad yet. I don't
Right.
recall one, so good for them. They found a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, he just he gives off really good vibes. So
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. He should be. Hopefully, he'll be like he talks about stay-at-home dad, basketball. He's thankful, golf. Hopefully, and calm and faithful. Hopefully, he brings that calming presence to his
Yeah.
tribe.
Mhm.
It brings them to peace when they're all upset when things go wrong. I could see him doing well if he develops that kind of bond with
Yeah,
his
I think he needs to
teammates.
develop more of a conversational connection, which is what makes me hesitant with him, because I believe he was the one that said in the one-liner that said, "Why will you win Survivor?" And he said like, "Outwit, outplay, outlast," or like like
Oh yeah.
nothing to do with his personality. So yeah.
What kind of kids does he have? I didn't catch it in anything.
I don't know.
He's stay at home, but stay at home with boys or girls or young or.
I'm not sure.
Was
I
he
don't
the
remember.
was Roxroy the one that said he didn't want to talk a lot about his at-home life? There was one contestant, I can't remember if it was Roxroy, that mentioned like, I don't want to reveal too much. I don't want that to be in somebody's pocket to be able to use later. I can't remember if it was Roxroy, but
I hope not. I think you need to be as authentic as you can.
Yeah,
he
same.
looks,
on a show
he
like
looks
Survivor.
authentic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong. People at home, don't quote that. But somebody said it. I don't remember who. Okay. So I think we're back to the start. Cameron, you have your second and third pick.
Whew, I got nervous there. We went through almost all of the Vati tribe, but didn't grab the other person that I wanted. At pick number 1, I was potentially going to take her, and I want Jenny.
Ah.
All right.
Jenny, I feel like she said in one of her Entertainment Weekly interviews that like she seems, very like quiet and confident, but like the thing that I feel like the thing that she didn't want people to know or people don't realize about her is that like people tell her things. They're like, within a couple minutes of meeting her, she's heard their whole life story or their deepest, darkest secrets. And I feel like that is like one of those Survivor superpowers that you hear about. Some people just are that person where you like can't help but love or can't help but talk to. And it seems like she's claiming to be one of those people. So I want to see how good her superpower is.
Yeah. I loved that line that she said that you pointed out, that people tell her the deepest, darkest secrets. Before that, I was like, I'm not sure. But then I liked that line.
Yeah, she gives me. I was actually debating either Lydia or her, but I don't know. Jenny just gives me. I mean, this isn't a bad thing when I say this, but she gives me like badass energy, and I think people are going to like pick up to that, and could potentially like take her out. Because for some reason, what really gets on my nerves in these competition shows is that the big guys take out very strong women. They look very threatened by strong women. So I really hope
Yeah,
that
you're
she
right.
dumb down her, because she gives me very, very strong women. She's not going to be told what to do. And I think that it could be a bad quality, especially for women, which is I hate that happens. But yeah, that's the only reason I didn't pick her. But I think she's going to be really, really good.
I almost Oh, I'm sorry. We do this every
It
time.
doesn't matter. I think my only concern with her is just that because she's such a strong personality, she's going to come across as that leader, I think, on the tribe. Because I think a lot of the tribe has good secondary players who are going to come across strong in their own way, but not necessarily lead. And I'm worried that if 3 or 4 of them join together as, hey, this is our little group, and she's seen as the leader, that she could definitely be kind of picked out as, hey, this is someone who's outside of our original 4. She would be the easy boot if we lose, but I don't know. I really like the Vati tribe, so I'm hoping all of them stick around because they seem like a
They're my
fun
favorite.
group.
Okay, here's my hot take. I feel like she was miscast. Like I'm excited to watch anybody on Survivor, but I feel like she was supposed to be on Tough as Nails or one of those other shows. Look at her. She is a creative designer,
And
Pilates,
a welder.
a welder. Like badass energy, absolutely. And I want to see like the Survivor should have like got her on production to build their challenges. They need welders, they need creative designers all the time. Like I know she can't do that now that she's a player, but man, maybe they missed the bill there. But I am excited to watch her do this. I saw that she also makes furniture, which gave me Wendell vibes. So
Yep.
Who knows?
Yeah. She might be too serious for the Vati tribe, though. I don't know. That's just my opinion. They seem really fun, and she's very like, "We're gonna do it" type of thing.
Yeah. Well, just her pose there tells you what kind of person she is.
Yeah.
Right. I got it. You know, she's as long as she doesn't rub everybody the wrong way to begin with, it should work.
For some reason, I can see her and Mike being a thing.
Her and who?
Mike.
Mike,
older.
the firefighter.
The firefighter, yeah.
Firefighter. I don't know why. I can just see them being like a thing together.
First, I thought you meant Zach, the like young 22-year-old.
No, she hasn't said she's the motherly kind. There are a few others that said that, or the fatherly kind, or whatever. Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
It will. Vati is going to be interesting to watch. I hope it's not one of those seasons where they win everything like last season and we get zero edit of them until merge.
Right.
I love them so
honestly,
much.
I kind of feel like that because just Chanel, Jenny, Mike, Daniel, even
Hi.
Yeah, I just feel like they're gonna just like do really, really strong in challenges, and I just feel like they're gonna try their hardest and go really hard in challenges.
It's so true. But remember, Jonathan can do more pull-ups with 100 pounds on his back than anyone else in the world.
I wonder if he wears a shirt when he's doing that.
No shirt.
No
I'm
shirt.
gonna go out on a limb and say no shirt here.
But many necklaces and bracelets and rings. Okay, rings and things. Cameron, I think you get a second and third, or your third pick.
My third and final pick. Yeah, this is a tough one. There's a lot. I feel like there's a couple good options left. I think I'm gonna go with someone who I feel like might make it further and has an interesting story.
Actually, Cameron, I have to interrupt you right quick.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say that.
Please.
I have a special guest who has just appeared in the background, and I hope they're still with me. Actually, Cameron, you can continue. Just give us a second to get them on board. Yep,
Okay.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt you there.
That's
but
all right. I'm going with Jackson. I just think his story is so interesting. Having transitioned that late in life, I think it just shows like a crazy amount of like self-determination that's going to come through in the game. And then obviously if he gets to the end, I mean, that's the type of winning story that can definitely, win people over. And also the personality, I feel like his personality just seems so good. I thought he had a kind of a witty answer of something you might not notice about me with the tattoos that are obviously covering his body and things like that. So I was intrigued by Jackson as a character.
Damn, I don't know why I held out. I definitely wanted Jackson. Definitely think that he's already a survivor. and been through a lot and has, like you said, transitioned so late in life, and like it just gives like a lovable vibe. And I don't think that people would even see him coming with a strategic. I don't think they would think that he has like a bad bone in his body to like, take out an ally or make a big move if he has to. So yeah, really mad I missed him.
Yeah, and he's 48, so he's up there with some of the others. Yeah,
A lot of older people on this cast.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah, both
Mhm.
sides. I feel like a couple really young, couple really, not really old, but
Yeah,
older.
it seems like it's one and the other. Yeah,
I'm totally. It'll be so interesting, Jillian. I'm totally digging Jackson's vibes. I love representation, and I think this is. I don't want to belittle Jackson anyways. This is casting gold because I think Jackson is going to represent the trans community in a way maybe we haven't seen before, and I always think that's great to be inclusive. Jackson's personality seems so complicated, so I think we could get a really complex edit from them. So I'm really excited about that too.
Well, that's the thing. Actually, you say that word "edit," and it's kind of like, oh, what we see and what people are really in life. And I've met lots and lots and lots of the survivors because I make it a point to meet them for reality rallies so that they know me and I know them, and they're so different. I mean, you just kind of joked about Debbie. She's very bouncy, but she's nothing like she was on the show. I mean, they really picked that to edit her into. So yeah, editing is huge because we see what they want us to see, so we can form our own opinions at home, and they're very often not exactly what's happening there. I mean, they're filming 24 hours a day and pulling out what they want. So it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I really hope that Jackson and Mike get a chance to meet up and kind of really work together. I think with Mike's big heart and just kind of his emotional side, that could be a really awesome relationship on the show that could really touch a lot of people and make some differences outside of just the survivor community that I would just love to see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And speaking of warm, generous hearts, a friend of mine is backstage right now that I haven't gotten to see in a while. You might have seen in some of our promo materials. With us right now is the amazing, incomparable Lip Gloss Rita.
Yeah, welcome. Hey, Rita.
Hello, my
Hola.
brothers and sisters. I'm sorry for my tardiness, and if I sound loopy, I've been up since 3 a.m. to catch a flight. I was helping my son move, and I had to MC a show tonight from 7 to 9. I'm literally in my car, so you can see how much I love you guys. I'm like, I'm going to do my best to make it. I literally just finished my show and hopped in the car. Here I am in my car studio. So yeah, interesting to hear all of you. First of all, so wonderful to meet some of you that I have not gotten to meet. So great to YouTube, Zoom, whatever.
YouTube.
Meet you all. Jillian, my sister, we've known each other for so many years, thanks to her. Speaking of warm and generous hearts. So I hope we get to meet in person soon. But to the point that everybody, you guys just finished making so true about the editing. I don't know why off the top of my head, at one of the events, one that really jumped at me that was like, wow, she is nothing like her edit was Courtney. Yay.
Yeah.
She is the sweetest. I mean, completely the opposite of what you saw out there. I was like just floored by that. Coach is another one. He could not have been more reserved, introverted, quiet. Again, completely not what you saw. So Jillian is 100%. I was in the back going like this the whole time. Was saying. So yeah, it's interesting. It's me. I had a moment where, you know what? And because I'm in that line of work, I work on television. I know what it takes to have to edit. Something is so difficult to edit. So I couldn't complain because you give them whatever material's there, you give it to them, whether you remember it or not. In my case, and that's why, you know what, I ran with it. Look at my screen name, whatever, I'm going to run with it. Lip gloss Rita. There it is. I said it, honey. So I'm owning it. Because, and I think that's the best thing you can do. I mean, they literally took and completely turned around. The phrase I actually said was the opposite of wearing makeup. I said that because in my line of work, the conversation Michelle and I were actually having was because in my line of work, makeup is a tool that you need when you're on camera. I have to wear makeup when I'm at work. So when I'm not at work, if I'm not out and about and not on a camera, honey, you are going to see me pretty much with barely to no makeup. All I wear, and here it is, I gave it to them. I said I wear a little bit of mascara, my pigtails, and some lip gloss, and I'm good to go. And there was like, they grabbed the word lip gloss. Next thing you know, the promo was me saying lip gloss 8 times. I remember walking by my living room and I'm thinking, I heard my voice saying lip gloss, lip gloss, lip gloss, lip gloss, lip gloss. And my lips, that was it on the screen. That's all they showed were my lips cut out saying lip gloss, lip gloss, lip gloss, lip gloss.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was the promo for that week. And then when I met people at events, people were like the beautiful, thank you so much for that overly generous introduction that you gave me. Thank you. God bless you for that. And people basically had that reaction. We're like, wow, you're nothing, like, you're not superficial at all. Like, and I'm like, wait, why would you say that about? Well, because you were always talking about lip gloss. And I'm like, oh my God. What? Did you hear what I said? I said I don't wear makeup unless I'm using it for my work. But okay, there it is. You know, I'm also living proof of that, and it is, I'm sure all of us are.
Well, for me, of course, you know, it was elephant dung.
Yes. You were all about the elephant poop.
Oh yeah, yep.
And so you owned it, you know. So you owned it. I think that's the best thing
I did
that you can do. So I'm love hearing all of your picks. It's interesting to see, you know, at the end if we were right.
Wow. We
were right. I think and again, I apologized ahead of time. I'm running on 2 hours of sleep. So forgive me. I don't remember. The girl is, I think it's Allie, the young girl who's an actress.
Lydia.
I think just because she's an actor, she might be able to, you know, play whatever roles if she's smart to see what roles she might need to play.
Right.
In her head. If she keeps quiet, which is a bit my strategy, and observe and try to absorb all the different personalities, maybe she can become whatever personality she needs to become and act that out and see that might be a strategy. That'll be interesting for her. Of course, I want to root for a fellow Latino in there, and also with a story of immigrants, because my parents also were immigrants from Venezuela, where I was born. So, you know, that in itself, I think, you know, he's had an example of survival in real life. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out for him as well, if he draws upon that. Romeo, right? Escobar, I think that was his name.
Yes.
Yep.
And then I think, you know, I always am interested to see those obvious ones, because at least when I was in our kidnapping at the DoubleTree, I remember watching the season with, and I forget his name now, but he was super, super fit and literally, I think, lasted 3 days because of that.
Wow.
And I remember, like, you know, the season starting and I'm watching the screen and I'm seeing how, like, uberly fit he is. And I'm thinking, I'm like, what the frick crack am I doing here? Like, there's no way I'm going to survive if that's how, you know, how physically fit you have to be. Oh my goodness. The last time I worked out was like, before I had my kid. At that time, it was like 10 years before. I'm like, oh my God. And then, wow, the season started, and on day 3, he was out, ironically, because of how strong and physically fit he was. So the Jonathan, again, I'm so tired. The firefighter, It's always interesting
Mike.
to see those.
Mike.
Mike's the
Thank you.
firefighter.
Thank you. I thank God I prefaced by saying I've had 2 hours of sleep. Thank you for helping me. I've been non-stop all day, from 3 a.m. until now. This is finally my stop. But anyhow, I think it'll be interesting. I'm always interesting to see those characters that are, blatantly, obviously, physically strong and come from that. They come from already doing this, or living a survivor life in their daily life. So it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Yeah, it's always interesting. And I wonder if they're going to do the backstories again. Do we know if that's going to happen?
I hope they do. That was a nice kind of editing feature.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, they followed along with American Idol and AGT and all of those. You get the backstories and gives you something else to root for, because there's more to it than you just see. Should I say there's more to it than we just see because of editing. We have seen something that's true to them, other than, because that's not, well, it is edited. Everything's edited, but at least we get a sense of who they are in real
that
life.
Was really cool. Yeah.
Right.
That was a really cool. Hopefully they'll continue with that, but you never know.
Yep. We'll know tomorrow.
Yeah. It's one of those things that sometimes, it's not, I hate when they fix things that aren't broken, so, but sometimes they do that. So hopefully they won't.
I love talking to the former contestants of Survivor, because so many of you are still fans of the show.
Yep.
It just means so much, and you guys always connect so much with the fans. We have a few more picks for the draft, and if Rita, can you stay with us a few more minutes, or do you have to go?
No, I'm staying, honey. I rush through. I'm like, I need to be here with my family.
I love this. So I am sending Rita a message because Dustin and I agreed upon a twist before this started that would be the lip gloss Rita twist of the draft cast. So when we are done choosing, Rita, I will Facebook it to you, and she will unveil the twist.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. All right, cool. So here's the update. I don't know where we're at. I
was going to say, do you know where we are?
I think I did the last pick.
Yeah, Cameron just went, so it's
Jackson.
mine.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm actually going to go with young boy Zach. I thought he had a very well typed out bio. It is very long. And I mean, he is very confident, which I hope that he dumbs that down. But I look at his tribe and I see Tori on there, and I see her wanting to scoop up Zach and use him as a vote. I mean, she's very strategic, so I can see her and Drea, my top pick, getting together and, maybe trying to use Zach, and him thinking it's a really good strategic move.
Yeah, that's a young tribe, so I don't think him being 22 is going to stand out too much. I mean,
right.
Swati and Tori, and himself are all, pretty young 20s, so I don't think that'll stand out too much. I worry, again, he might be one of those people who's done a little bit too much research. Like, it seems to me like Survivor is, a huge portion of his life, and I wonder about whether he can dial that back, and remain kind of calm out there, but we'll see.
It reminds me of gosh, why am I blanking on his name? Last season, he made it to the end, and everyone was saying he didn't have mental awareness.
Oh, Xander.
Xander.
Yeah, Xander.
So
Yeah.
I was not a Xander fan when the season started. I was like, this guy does not know how to communicate with people, and it just gave me Zach vibes. So I'm hoping that channels and translates, and he can do as well as Xander did, and maybe get me some points. I'm just looking at this strategically. There's other people that I love and I'm rooting for, but I'm hoping Zach will get me some points.
I'm worried if Tori sees Zach as the other person who could come across as a super fan, and she starts getting labeled that, if she throws him right under the bus and he just gets steamrolled by the rest of their tribe. I think that's a very good possibility if someone tries to pin her with it early.
He's also probably the most likely to maybe recognize her as well. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I
Wait,
would
is he
imagine.
from the orgs and LRGs?
I feel like I remember reading somewhere that he's definitely on Survivor Reddit at least. So like somewhat involved in the online community. So maybe.
You know, talking about that, how they know it, way back when, even before my time, Survivor was so pure because there wasn't the social media or the generalization and the parties and the get-togethers. Nobody knew anybody, sort of thing. So they were all pure and they didn't know each other. Now everybody knows almost everybody in some way or another from either an online game or one of the places that they've been to hang out and do things. So. It's almost not pure anymore. People know each other.
It's so true. We saw in Survivor South Africa a season or two ago, two contestants actually knew each other, and I think it got past casting.
Wow.
And I didn't find out. Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that.
Zach's a debater, and and as a speech teacher and a Survivor player, I would debate how good debate is in Survivor, because debate can be contentious.
Yes.
Right.
Depends. So I don't know. Some people do it well.
Yeah, but it's difficult under circumstances, and that I think that's part of the social experiment. That it out there, things are not they don't play out the way they do in the real world,
right?
So debate, it can work, but not the way it would work in the real world.
I'm more excited for his background in sketch comedy. I'm remembering that too, and that. So I think that would be more useful actually on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does mention 3 words to describe you. Storyteller is one of them.
Right.
Great for just sitting around camp.
Yep.
Well, actually, I beg to differ because I got attacked for that. That's why I'm telling you, like, Survivor's a trip. It's so much harder than people know. Like, you'd think, right? And I remember saying that because Jeff's like, well, at one of the tribal councils, I don't know if they aired that. But I remember him somewhat wanting to put me on the spot by saying, so you're kind of being a storyteller, and is that like a good thing or is that obnoxious that you're always? And I put out the argument that, well, there's so much downtime. I think that it's we don't have a television, so it's like a form of entertainment to make the time go by. But it was being attacked. Like, it wasn't a good thing to be a storyteller. So again, go figure.
But also everything depends on who you end up with and how you click and how it works. And that is such a big part of it. It's who you're with.
That is true. That is true but again, as kind of the comment I just made there, production and Jeff gets to hear everything that's going on and brings that back to tribal council. So he was seeing that picture of me, and thankfully my tribe was very they were very good to me up until, of course, I got the moment when I got voted off. But up to then, when he asked that, thankfully they all were like, oh my God, no, we love it that Rita is telling stories because it keeps us entertained. And I was like, see, that's what I thought. But what I mean is he was positioning it to see what kind of a reaction, to see maybe if the tribe, because they could have reacted and said, oh yeah, she's obnoxious, we wish she would shut up. Luckily they didn't say that. But he was positioning it to see what the reaction would be.
It's like, basically there's always a way to look at everything with a flip side, right? It's like the glass is either half full or half empty, and it's always this game of like perspective and like how you're looking at that glass from what angle. Next up, Nikki, it's kind of notable, all of your teammates are from Ica.
Yeah, I was surprised about that. I just noticed it. I mean, they're definitely my second favorite tribe.
All right, so Rocky, there are 4 people left. They are all our last picks, so we are collectively
I'm going
probably struggling here.
I am going to go with. I am a little bit because both my last picks are on the same tribe, but I'm gonna go with.
Oh,
I thought I had it. Okay. Gosh.
shall we give you a drum roll?
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Romeo.
Ah,
Okay.
ah.
All right.
So obviously it was between Romeo and Swati. I picked Romeo because, like Rita said, I like his story, like especially about his parents. And I think that he's gonna be authentic about just like he just seems like a lovable person. And the fact that he's like over the top as well. And he's basically saying he's gonna play a game like nobody's ever seen. It just gives me just like he's gonna create moments, and I feel like the girls on his tribe are gonna mesh with him very, very well. And those four, he's gonna have an in with the girls. So I just feel like he's just gonna do very, very well. And I don't feel like people are gonna take him seriously to even get far. And I think that's what's gonna get him far.
I
Go for
I
it,
have
Kirk.
I have one thought. Romeo's a pageant coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Tori has a background in pageantry. Am I correct?
Is she?
Wow, I
I-
didn't know that. I'm a fellow pageant coach then with him. No wonder I related to that.
Let me go back to Tori. I really want to know this right now. Does it say in this crazy bio thing? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not Tori. I thought there was a connection there. I could be wrong.
They did show a video today. I don't know if you guys watched the like early secret scenes or anything. It's not a huge spoiler of Romeo and Zach getting along. It was a short little scene, but it definitely was showing, his ability to be that personable person and kind of get in with a good amount of people there.
Yeah, I can see him being like a very just easy person to get along with.
Oh, you can't see it like this. So yes, Tori is a pageant. She does evening wear, social impact. She plays the flute. The girl does everything. So in other words, what I was trying to say is I do think hobbies like that are so like lifelong hobbies are absolutely going to connect those two together. 100%.
Yeah.
And it's a small community too. It's kind of interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if those two
They
might
know
already
know of each
of-
other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially adults in pageantry. Somebody's microphone's a little scratchy right now on it. So here is our updated board. And we are looking at not many people left. Jillian, you have
Yep.
3 to choose from.
Well, it's getting. I know it's very sad actually. If these people saw that we're actually picking them, and then there's some that are left at the end, and they sadly are going to be picked as somebody's last picks. So
Leftovers.
yeah, leftovers. That's very sad. Well, they don't know, so it's good. They don't know it, but
Yeah.
we do. So for me, what I'm going to do is, seeing as though it's International Women's Day today, and congratulations to all the women watching and listening. You all make a difference in this world, and you go for it because women are it. The world would be much better if we were all in charge instead of some of the men that we know.
Well, you're, I think, an exceptional. If anyone's an exceptional example, it's you, Jillian. So.
Well, thank you, but I'm just a woman. I'm just a little old lady. So here we go. So what I'm going to do, because I hate this fact that I've got to actually pick. I'm going to pick one of the left women, and I won't say the leftover woman. So it's either going to be Lindsay or Swati. How's her name? Swati. So I'm going to flip a coin. So heads, it's Lindsay.
Ooh.
Tails, it's Swati. So this is definitely a random way of picking. But there we go. So it is tails, so I get Swati, right?
Oh,
Didn't I say that was
Oh.
her if it was tails? So there you go.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Why did you want her? Somebody?
Yes.
Oh, Kirk, I'm sorry. Do you want me to
Oh.
flip the coin again? Say,
No.
say, Kirk. So
We-
how about this? I'll trade you with somebody. You want her, and I'll take somebody of yours.
Oh no, I'm good with my first two. I'm gonna keep my
Okay.
first two.
Well, she's mine,
Wow, 19.
and I know Palo Alto well, so it's a lovely town, and so yeah. So I'll root for a fellow Californian and somebody from Palo Alto.
He seems just like super smart. Young, but she seems like yeah, she's just super smart. And I think people are gonna not see that. You're gonna be like, she's young, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's
Yeah, I have a feeling. Sorry, but she may be the first to go.
Yeah.
But bummer. There go my points. But I'm not sure the other one that was available.
who is she
but,
with? Oh yeah, off her tribe, I can see either her or Zach
going first.
going first if they were to lose.
Well, I hope it's not Zach for point's sake. But but I was debating on choosing her as well because I do think she is likable. I mean, I'm rooting for her as a person, as a woman, as a 19-year-old coming out and doing Survivor. I mean, good on her. I think she thinks she maybe has more life experience than she does, though. I mean, my brother was in the Army National Guard, so kudos, props to her. She goes through full-on Army boot camp. So she did that, and that's amazing. And I do think she is very smart. So I just think she's going to be a very nice person. So again, on the nice tribe of...
Hey, that's why I picked her. She belongs to my tribe, the happy tribe.
Yeah, she'll be on your happy tribe.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll take her.
But does not have a lot of life experience, and that might resonate with people.
She does theater. I'm a theater teacher, so I dug that. And I loved Slatty's interviews. I just totally dug her. She was gonna be my 5th place goddess in my final alliance of all women Black Widow Brigade 3.0. So I'm, even though I didn't get her, I hope she does really well. Actually,
Yeah.
I do.
And she threw out a name in her bio that I did not expect in Chaos Cass. She said she wanted to play a bit like, which she did not give me those vibes at all. So I'm interested to see where that comes from.
Interesting. Yeah.
All right,
She's gonna be like a naive. People gonna like think she's very naive, and then she's just gonna like just go crazy for no reason. I'm interested in her.
So for time's sake, we are going to head really quick to this final choice. Brody, essentially, you are going to be giving me my final choice here. So it's between Lindsay and Omar.
I like them both. I think they offer different things. I really want a woman on my team, but Omar's knowledge of the game is so deep. He pulled on names that I haven't seen in bios in a while, and Rob Sesternino, who, I mean, unless you're really a fan of Survivor, you're not pulling up Rob Sesternino as one of your people you want to play like. And so I think I'm going to go with Omar.
Okay.
All right, which is going to leave me with Lindsay. Let's head over.
Look at yours all together right there.
I know, same like you, like all on the same tribe. So hopefully we don't get pagonged.
Yeah.
This is the wrong picture, like last time. So here we are with Omar. I was a little scared. I mean, I think he was very low on my list. I feel like he wants to be the villain, and I'm always scared of the person that wants to be the villain before they start Survivor.
Right.
Yeah, to me, he's thinking a little bit too much about how to make good TV and maybe not about how to win Survivor. But I think that's going to be fun for us to watch, and maybe it'll get you. He might last a good amount of time even as that type of player.
Yeah,
I hope he does just come out guns ablazing. You know, we need some excitement in some of the players. They get in this like too safe and not as outspoken as I might like on this show. So I hope he does.
Well, the challenge there is people always say, they're going to be this way or that way or the other way when they get on Survivor one day. And I always tell them, I said, you've got to watch because you've got to keep in mind editing, and you're giving them what you might not be. And that's going to be you, and people are going to know you as that person forever. And that's why I was really actually very boring. I had very little good to say, but I wasn't going to say it, because I just knew that they would use it and use it and use it. And I just didn't want to go home with everybody thinking I was kind of like that, whatever, the bitch of Survivor or whatever it was, or the mean one, or the one that said horrible things or whatever. So I was really horribly boring because I wouldn't say what I was thinking. So they've got to be careful.
So true. Yeah.
Got to be careful.
I second that because I got really clobbered because I tend to be very sassy and lively and like funny, sarcastic, and I was super quiet because when I got there, all of a sudden hit me my reality from out looking in was my two small children,
right,
watching, and then I would then have to go back and have them be proud of everything about me there, and suddenly I was like, ooh, I can't really be as outspoken, and even though who knows, in a good or bad way, in any way, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to take the safest route and just be more observant. And in fact, Jeff described me as the listener of the tribe, but I was so, I work on TV, I'm an entertainer, so just it didn't go with the fact that I wasn't entertaining at all, but that was a choice that I made because
it is a choice.
Couldn't risk. And I was right, by the way, because I was shocked the very first day back, and I was volunteering at my kids' school. And at that point, you know what? For my kids' sake, I was so happy that I made this safe choice because I was shocked when these kids, elementary age, I didn't know that Survivor had, reached even that young. And they were like, oh my God, wait, aren't you the lady who was on Survivor last night? And I thought, whoo, thank God. In my case, I'll tell you specifically what the choice the route I decided not to go is the producers really wanted me to be at the time. Remember, mine was Survivor 14. It was back in the day where the whole cougar just started, that phrase started becoming popular. And I was older, I was nearing 40, and they were, I'm as a woman, I'm flattered. They thought I looked a lot younger than I really am. And so they wanted to postulate me and for me to act and be this cougar. And I was like, oh, hells no, I'm not going to be out there doing that with my two small kids watching now. And that wasn't me. And the funny thing is, like, and I remember telling them in the audition process, it's like, I'm flattered y'all think that I look so much younger than I am. But, like, I am comfortable in the skin that I'm in. And if I grab a guy, to me, it's like I'm grabbing a kid who's 25 to try to get together with. Honey, I could have him for breakfast. I'm a grown woman. I don't need to be proven none of that, but thank y'all if you think that a 25-year-old thinks I'm hot. I'm not, I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't flattered. Of course I'm flattered. But when it came down to making that choice that, like, no way I'm going to be acting like, the Bachelorette out there on Survivor with two small kids. It depends on
because your reputation is
maybe if my kids were 20, I would have been able to have more freedom, but I really had to say, you know what, I can't up that character that they see in me, because I'm going to be spending if I win the million, I'm going to end up spending it on on therapists that my kids are going to need from all the bullying they're going to get from the kids calling their mom's names.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, it just wasn't worth it to me, and so I'd rather be boring.
You do have to make choices. Yeah, I'm proud of taking that route because my kids are happy, healthy, and they don't need therapy because of how their mom behaved on Survivor.
I don't know if
affect you coaching, and I go back to Coach. Coach lost his job because of how he behaved. He was he was literally a coach, a girls soccer coach, and they fired him after they saw him on Survivor.
And
his
Randy
parents-
from my season was fired after his because of his behavior. And he was the
And-
one who
yeah.
called me a useless old woman. And thank you, Randy.
Yeah,
He knows
there are
I'm not
consequences.
useless. But
yeah,
I
ironically,
left
the
it
real,
be,
ironically, the real world takes that reality for real.
Yeah.
And Coach's
Yeah.
family stopped talking to him for about a year because they were so embarrassed of how
Wow.
what he portrayed. Yeah.
That's sad.
Well, with
So it's hard.
Lindsay, my final pick, we have somebody that we're talking about a similar personality, right? She's talkative, she's intense, she's even come across that way in some of her interviews. So we'll see if that's going to translate either way. Like, does she get quiet when she gets there around people, or does she talk herself into a hole she can't get out of, or does she manage to figure it out? I don't know. She was not high on my list, but Lindsay, I'm rooting for you now, honey.
I see
Bring
that
me-
Dustin gave her a loud as well. So we've got several people that are loud.
Yeah.
Are they on the same tribe?
Yeah.
No.
Loud with an exclamation point.
Yeah, a lot of
that's
louds.
right.
So here I know, Rita, you're driving, but
Yes,
Rita-
I'm heading home. Sorry.
Rita is actually here to unveil the final twist of the draft. Take it away.
All right. Is everybody ready? Drum roll.
Ready?
Steering wheel roll. And the twist is everybody gets to add an additional player to their team.
Oh.
Ooh.
And we're going to
Okay.
go back in numerical order. So Cameron will start.
Wow. A lot of pressure on that one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, I have someone from Vati. I have two people from Vati and one person from Taku. So maybe I'll try to grab someone from the Ika tribe. And I will go with Drea. That'll be my extra person.
Wow.
Right on. And there's no rules with this. You can stack up on a player if you would like to. It's okay. Nikki, you are next.
Oh my goodness. So I maybe get to have my first choice.
So some good pressure.
Yes. But I'm also debating on keeping it in the same tribe. I mean, that's kind of interesting. But no, I have to go with Chanel. I mean,
Welcome to the team.
yeah, I know. I'm happy to be here.
Rocky, you're next.
I'm like, should I stack up on Chanel? But no, I'm gonna go with Jackson. I just think Jackson's gonna be a great character. Now I have two guys, two girls.
There you go. Jillian, who will be your exclusive pick?
My exclusive pick. Well, I'm going to stick with the women, and again, in honor of International Women's Day. So I will go with Marianne because she's also on my happy tribe. So yeah. So
All right.
I'll have her on my happy tribe.
We're going to go to Exile Island together and have a good time.
You and I? Oh, that sounds good. I'll
Wait.
bring my credit card to take the ticks off again.
Oh God.
Who's after Brody?
I'm between Drea and Tori, but I don't want to stack up, so I'm going to go with Tori.
All right. Tori. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I was gonna go with Chanel and Drea. I almost don't want to stack up two just for funds. So part of me wants to go Swatty just because I have some faith with that. Like Swatty got swag. I'm feeling Swatty. I'm also feeling Daniel still. And part of me wants to go with him. I feel like Daniel's going to be a target at some point. Like at some point, they're going to see him as strategic. So can he get to that last episode? I'm not so sure. But I'm gonna Jillian, you know what? We're gonna have this two of the same people. I'm gonna go with Swatty.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we might both lose at the same time or both win at the same time. Who knows? Okay. So after a little bit longer than I thought because of my technological difficulties, but this is our Survivor 42 live reality games draft. At the end of each recap episode that happens directly after each episode, we will then cut back to this draft, and I will do a quick tally of the points, and I'll keep you up to date. And all of you are free to jump on the finale episode if you'd like to. We would love to have you come back and process this. And again, whoever wins gets their choice of one of their favorite buffs from Kingsway Crafting Company in Wisconsin. I have parent-teacher conferences tomorrow.
Yes, I have an early meeting tomorrow too.
So random, it's time to go. Rita, thank you so much for finding the time to come on. It means a lot.
Thank you guys for letting
So
me.
I hate to
letting
admit
me
it, but
join you.
when is the finale? I should know, but I don't know. I want to block it off my schedule.
I don't know if we know how many episodes yet.
Yeah,
so
last season they did not tell us, so it was
No.
a game of we were investigating as much as possible, and we didn't know. So it was.
I thought maybe you'd found out.
Nope.
Okay.
I don't know. How many? Cam, do you remember how many episodes it was? Like 12?
13 or 12? Yeah, I think they might. Yeah,
Right
so
in there.
Probably something similar.
So ish. Look into that. And Jillian, of course, thank you so much. Can't wait to see the developments for Reality Rally. Again, if you have not ever just checked out the website, check it out. You might be curious. Contact them. There is a lot to do in that first weekend in May.
It's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing.
So keep
So
considering
by the way,
it, Kirk.
everyone, if you could, so we could keep kind of, supporting each other and become even closer family. I did a post on my Instagram. Tag yourself on there if you would, so that I know all of your Instagram and I can follow you back and we can stay connected and stay supportive of each other.
Will do.
And it's my name.
Absolutely.
It's actually Rita Varios, not Lip Gloss Rita. It's Rita Varios.
Awesome, Rita.
Thank you, guys.
Well, nice to meet all of you, and thank you
so
Kirk,
much.
for including me.
Absolutely. Brody, Rocky, Nikki, Cam, representing your LRGs. Thank you so much for coming on board, and can't wait to see your comments on the recaps in the future. See you guys soon. See you tomorrow.